So what's up, everyone? Welcome to Blazing Confused. I am your host, Chuckles. I am going alone today. My partner, D-Dog, is not here with me. But so yes, we have an interesting topic today. The reason for this segment is so yeah. I want to talk about. Let's see. I just want to do a quick short video. So I'm starting. I'm in the process of starting that podcast. I'm having trouble. I recorded it. I have the RSS link. I just something about putting it on iHeart and Pandora and Apple and all these other services is just it's kind of tricky. I don't know. I'm still trying to learn how to do it, so it'll take time, I guess. But I just this is easier, I guess, just doing the YouTube because it's easier to edit and just do it, I guess, whatever. But anyways, so today I wanted to do that introduction right on that podcast. So I will be calling it the paradigm shift. If you guys don't know what that means, just Google it. Uh, so that's I guess I'm just gonna call this video the paradigm shift because it's gonna be about the podcast. But basically, I know it's gonna be I'm trying to get into like paranormal stuff, and how it's and then how it might be playing, out in today's society with everything that's going on. It's not a it's not a conspiracy. Okay? Just putting things into a perspective, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't know. I guess what first got my attention to this the UFO topic, basically, and then how everything just kind of might be sort of tied in. Anything that has to do with paranormal stuff, and this includes like even if you go and you hear folklore stories or you hear stories from Bigfoot, you know goblins and angels, fairies, demons, angels, whatever. I think we're starting to see with the new discoveries and not science, because I guess science is just limited to what we are capable of understanding based on our physics. But as you can see, that has changed over time. You remember when people thought the world was flat, right? And then there was a couple of people that said, "Nah, it's round." And what happened? Either they were scrutinized, they were locked up or whatever. I think even killed. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know my history, but whatever. And then the world is round. So again, it's based on that current knowledge, I guess. So a lot has happened in the last 50 years, 60 years, 70, 100 years. Technology wise, what we know now, what's being discovered. And some stuff is just beyond our understanding. There's a lot of theories now out there, as far as our universe. You start hearing about them, dog. Have to excuse the external noises over here. I'm outside. It's a nice night, so I figure I'll be out here for a little bit. But anyways, drinking some coffee. So anyways, there's a lot of stuff out there that we just don't understand, and now with everything that with modern technology, we're discovering new things, little by little, and now they're talking about what there's 10 dimensions. Oh, shit, I only knew three in three dimensions, but it goes into I don't know, like it gets complicated, I guess, to understand, but scientists say it exists or whatever. These people are smart. But anyways, there's a lot of stuff that is out there that we are not aware of. We just don't follow up on. We ignore. We just brush it off. Um, I know back in the '90s, before the internet, you know, what other sources do we have really? Unless you read the newspaper or certain articles, certain magazines, science magazines, whatever. But who really read that? No, because of the internet now, we could just find everything online. Different countries all around the world, different stories. So this goes to how the belief in how UFOs. How I first came to that. I think I go through this in that podcast, but who knows when that's gonna get gets published. But anyways, it goes back to like the '90s when I would go to Mexico to my dad's town where he's from. It's called Chametla. It's in Mazatlan, Sinaloa, Mexico. So I remember there was a few summers that I would go then, and during the nights, in the night, there was no light pollution, so it's like you could see all the stars, and yeah, we would see things up there. We would see lights up there that would not, that would just hover, that would fly erratic, just like damn, like there's no plane that could do such maneuvers. That was back in the '90s. Okay? And again, this is before the internet, so it's like you figured it's just happening rare. It's a rare occasion. And then back then, all I knew was Roswell, and then there was a bunch of weather balloons. To my knowledge at the time, it was like maybe that was the only incident known to history, right? But no, then like, as time passes by, and then because of the internet, and you're able to find out things across the world, I guess, you kind of find out like no, there was more to this. There was more sightings. There was more phenomena being reported, and then so this is a global thing. So okay, so anyways, again, something that not a lot of people, maybe people never seen anything. I have. Um, just recently, I would say about a month ago. I think I might have made a video about this. But anyway, I did see there was I think it was a Wednesday morning. I did see three different things at three different separate times within 10 minutes. Three objects. Unidentified objects, I guess you could say. But anyway, one I don't know. I think one was a satellite. The other one, I don't know, man. That was kind of questionable because they kind of disappeared. And then there was another one that was pretty bright that was right above me, and that just disappeared. And that was like, how the hell did that happen? But again, 2 days later on a Friday morning, no, actually Friday afternoon, it was like 1:30. I did see. I was out here in my backyard. I was looking. I was just kind of like just out here having a smoke, and then so as I was out here, I noticed chemtrails up in the sky. Anywho, but then I saw the planes. I'm like, yeah, all right. So as I'm looking up, and then I see, I guess looking, what is that, northeast direction. What caught my attention, I was like, damn, those planes, they look like planes, right? And it was about 12 of them from they looked white in color. So I was like, damn, are those planes? I know there's too many of them. So damn, let me go get my binoculars. Got my binoculars. I'm trying to see, I'm zooming in, whatever. So through the binoculars, I still wasn't able to see clearly what they were. They looked like if they were like chevron shaped, I guess you could say, or they looked like they had like a wingspan. And I was like, oh, maybe they're birds. But I was like, I didn't see any flapping, and they were just kind of like just gliding, soaring. That's what it looked like. But again, I'm like thinking, well, what kind of birds could these be? Because they're just the color that they were, right? And then again, they were at a pretty high altitude, and they did not look like birds. Anywho, so then I'm trying to get my cell phone to see if I could record it, because they were pretty visible from the naked eye. And it was kind of bright outside, so I'm fumbling through through the thing to record it. And I was able to record something. I was able to edit some stuff out and kind of like stabilize it and whatnot. And I'll have you guys check that out. I have the video and like the whole video, and then so yeah, you guys check that out. I'm gonna narrate it through. All right, so I wanted to go through this stuff that I recorded on my cell phone. I forgot what it was. Back in March. I think it was in March. But anyways, so check this out, alright? Let's see, can we do this? So I'm gonna start off with the, I guess the original video, right? And then I'm gonna point some stuff out. You guys can see what I'm talking about. So that's the original video. Nothing that much, right? But just that's why I kind of edited it and trying to zoom in. See right there. But watch. This is again the beginning. Slow down. You can see all that right there. And like I said, these were not birds. They were not birds. They were not planes. They were not balloons. They were not, from what I described. You know, what first caught my attention is the fact that they looked like birds. You know, they were flying in different formation than that. See, they were flying in a different formation than that. So once I reached for the binoculars, and then I saw that, yeah, they were not birds, and they were pretty high up. And I did see, I don't know, it looked like. So yeah, that's what I saw. And again, the shape was like a chevron shape, or like a rectangular shape, kind of looked like a wingspan. Again, there were not birds. I didn't see any flapping. They were like a white to like a gray cloud color in color. So yeah, that's what I got. That's what I wanted to share with you regarding that. You know what's funny though? Put my glasses on. I remember this show back in the '90s, Sightings. You guys remember Sightings? How it was all based. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that was kind of fake, because I remember some pictures, and the video at the time was kind of like, I don't know, not too clear what it was. Some stuff was like, okay, but the pictures, they would debunk. I'm like, oh, it's a chandelier. Somebody threw a hat, and it's a freaking hat, you know. So at the time, it's like, to what I knew, it's like flying saucers as far as the shape of these objects, flying saucers. But then, later on, I mean, I lost track of all that, because it's like, I didn't hear it in the news. I didn't hear it anywhere, And in a lot of videos you would see, it's like, either Photoshop or they look just outright fake. It was kind of quiet, actually. But then, now that you have the, with all this that came out with the videos released by the Pentagon, right? You've seen those videos, right? If you haven't, okay, check these out, right? So I wanted to go through this real quick with you guys, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen this. In night vision video from a Navy destroyer, a mysterious flying train. This should be top news, right? This should be everywhere, being covered. People should be talking about this. But yet no one isn't. I mean, what is this? What I know there's been people trying to debunk this, but no, man, this is This is undeniable. I mean, and these are objects that are breaking the sound barrier. Without the sonic boom. These are, you know, the speed of these things up to 11,000 miles an hour, 30 Gs. You know, nothing, no human can survive that. That will be crushed. So I know you guys have seen this, and we're hoping for that. Nope. They have tons of videos. See? They have more. They have more evidence of this. See? And that is the problem with society right there. The more I kind of looked into this, like last year or so, and then you start hearing about the triangle shaped objects, the V shaped lights. You go back to the Phoenix incident back in '97. Like I didn't know about that. I didn't even hear about that until like maybe 2 years ago. I was watching a documentary. I'm like, it's interesting. And I looked it up on YouTube, and oh shit! And what happened? They laughed about it and made a joke about it, right? So a lot of incidents that have happened, and again, they make a joke about it, and people just aren't interested, really. So yeah, so then you start hearing about, well, I don't know, but I was watching the show based on the Project Blue Book, and then I don't know, the show is pretty, looks kind of fictional, but it's based on real stuff, but it's kind of like the X Files actually. But it's a good show, and it's like I wonder like how much of that stuff, I know some of that stuff is based on actual events, like the lights over Washington D.C. and how they said, oh, it was a weather phenomenon. Like really, come on. Even Dr. Alan Hynek kind of like regretted, you know, all that. It's a great show. Look into that. I really recommend it. And there was an episode on that was about Skinwalker Ranch, which led me to my interest in Skinwalker Ranch. That's in Utah. It'd be an interesting place to go, actually. But am I ready to go? And who would want to go with me? Because honestly, I think it's a place to go with a good amount of people. Just because everybody, I guess it's reported everybody experiences something different. It isn't explained. It is a phenomena. Sometimes nobody experiences anything. It's like a random thing, I guess. But look into that, and there's a documentary on that too. But a lot of stuff, about that. But anyways, so back to the UFO subject, right? So you start learning about all this different like events, and then like sightings. So you have to remember. Well, from what I thought, like I said, Roswell was the only incident in the U.S. But then you learn that it's happened in other places, and then even other countries that have released their own footage, their own military footage of objects, and they've tried to debunk these, and I don't know, it's still not. It's doesn't really explain it. Again, what they tried doing back in the 50s and 60s with Project Blue Book. And then you have okay, those videos, that I showed you that you guys have seen. But again, where's the public interest in this, right? I know everybody's paying attention to COVID, and all this other stuff that they have that's going on, personally, socially, globally, government, for everything that's going on. It's a distraction, I guess. But there's a bigger picture to this. If you guys think about it, how? Yeah, I know people would say like, "Oh, so what? It's not gonna. I still have to go to work. I still have to pay my bills. I have to do this, do that." But I brought this up to certain people, and it makes you put things into perspective. Like if this was revealed to be something that it's unexplained, yeah, they're not gonna say it's alien, but it's something they just can't explain, right? And it's like, okay, but what is it? It's obviously something with intelligent control. So what is it? Then if they do say that, what, they do exist, there is something, some other entity, whatever. Okay, but then it's like, okay, what about all these UFO abduction reports and all these, other stuff that's been going on? What about that? All the people that that people thought were crazy, because you would hear it back, people that would have be abducted by UFOs. It was always some drunken hick, like you're not gonna believe when they were drunk, they were high, they were stoned, whatever. But then you start hearing about like, no, there's some legitimate witnesses, people that experience things, not just people like professional people, credible people, and they have a lot to lose by coming out and saying this. So you can't deny that. You just can't. But yeah, it could be drones, drones from someone somewhere else, drones from other governments, drones from our government. Because based on what, even if you hear stories with the Bob Lazar story, they were reverse engineering stuff. The U.S. has its own version of these crafts. They just couldn't figure out the propulsion, how to make them fly the way they were able to do. But I think and then I've heard, I listen to a lot of like coast to coast, and you hear people. Sometimes they sound far fetched, but sometimes they sound like legitimate people, Because I mean, there's a lot going on, dude. You have to. Yeah, people would think like, oh, that's not possible. That's stuff you only hear in movies or see in movies and reading books or whatever. But I don't know, man. If someone is capable of thinking and writing about this, someone is capable of actually doing it. But anyways, I do believe that they've and other governments have their own. They've uncovered. I mean, some of these ships were found to be buried. And others that crashed were brought down. I think that the world now, every government has an ability, has the capability, the military capability to bring these things down. So that's why we haven't been invaded, or we have the upper hand on that. And I guess because of that, it goes into the whole abduction thing. It's like, okay, like I hear that there was a deal. You're like, okay, you give us technology and we'll let you abduct and experiment on people. But I guess these aliens or whatever, they went further than that. They started creating hybrids. That's a theory. How this all plays into how what everything's going on globally, you be the judge. I know some people would say, "Oh, it's the Illuminati. It's this, it's that. If there's a bigger picture to this. This could be it. People, the world has changed, especially the U.S. You know how this whole culture changed stuff. We have become soft. You know, that's my opinion, and this is based on just on current government change, I guess you could say. And again, infiltration. I don't know. Just saying, just putting it out there. I know it sounds far fetched, but just think about it. But I think it's always been a mix of government and unknown, you know, flying stuff that's been out there. But the current stuff that's out there, because I mean, I don't know, it's still a little, maybe I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe, or they have been able to. Because you hear the theories that on all these secret government projects, supposedly, and this could be one of them. Maybe they did, and they have. And there's, I mean, there's you started hearing a lot of this stuff. I know it sounds crazy, but hey, like shows like Stargate. You guys remember Stargate? Supposedly that's based on, in fact, I was watching, I forgot I was watching this show on Amazon Prime. I forgot what it's called, but it was, I think it was the day before disclosure, or the day after disclosure, some one of those. But supposedly, there was a project called Project Dove. I looked it up, but I can't find anything. But I think I said it right, Project Dove. I think I heard it right. I texted to my buddies at the time that I saw it, but they're like, we couldn't find anything. But anyways, so it was talking about how they used Hollywood, the media, Hollywood, as far as like making movies, to kind of like ease the public of the idea of, yeah, they exist, But then later on, it was kind of like commercialized even more by making them hostile, making them scary, and they're here to invade. But supposedly, yeah. I mean, and you look at the movies, even every movie, every sci-fi movie from the '90s, from Independence Day, shows like Stargate, Star Trek, Star Wars, all these sci-fi movies, and the technologies they were used. Supposedly, that was based on like inside info they were given by the government. Supposedly. Fuck, and I don't know. You never know, right? But I mean, it could be a big conspiracy. It could be just far fetched, but I don't know, man. So I don't know, man. So basically, in the end, it's just about. I know a lot of people are religious, they God, and but I've brought this up to people like you gotta look before that, before modern religion. Look back, at different cultures, what they believe, what their gods were. You have the Greeks, the Egyptians. You have the Norse mythology, the Vikings, what they believed in. But you go further back before that, you go to the Sumerians, how they believe in the Anunnaki, how we were created as a slave race to mine for gold. The book that I read, I remember back in 2003, 2004, was a book called The 12th Planet by Zechariah Stitchin. It's a good book. I recommend it. But that also opened my eyes to like, oh shit, this is interesting. It's based on archaeological findings. Again, stuff that you don't hear on mainstream media, But this is, again, we should just start questioning things and not like rely on what we know. We gotta start thinking outside the box. I've always said that. So again, this is why, on the podcast that I'm trying to get going is the paradigm shift. So, anyways, I just wanted to. I tried keeping this video short, but I guess I couldn't. It kind of sounds weird that it's like almost midnight and I'm out in my backyard. I'm the only one talking, but my neighbors are like, "What the fuck's going on over there?" But anyways, this is my segment of Blazing Confused, man. So again, I'm Chuckles, and hopefully I get all this shit going, and just I don't know, and try to get guests going, and hopefully my partner D Dog will join me next time. So until then, thanks for watching. Don't forget, like the video, tell people about it, and just I don't know, man, just spread the word.